And it seems like our first stage of the day, if I can actually press the correct button, will be Ribbon Ring. So that's going to be a very interesting starter stage to see, if anything. Because Ribbon Ring is kind of a more zoney stage, where you can hide behind the blocks. But we'll see how it shakes out, you know. Also, I'm definitely not synced on those transitions. But it's okay. We'll make it work. And yeah, of course, Gerardo is going to be rocking the Ribbon Girl on the home stage. I do think that Ribbon Girl does have some kind of advantage over Min Min on this stage specifically, just because of her multiple jumps. Being able to maneuver around the rising blocks more efficiently than Min Min. But we shall see, we shall see. But yeah, so far it's just Gerardo trying to poke with the Tri-Bolt as much as possible, trying to get some cheeky stun confirms as well. Not really managing to do so, but Gerardo right now with a very good lead on the health department. And now we're applying the pressure from the air. This is exactly what we were saying about Ribbon Girl, just being able to apply the pressure from the air directly on the stage. As Profire is going to try and go for the rush, and obviously is going to be dodged very easily by Gerardo. And the Tri-Bolt is going to do it, sorry. Also having some sound troubles, chat. Please let me know if the sound is okay on your end. Yeah, just a little bit of a sound trouble on my end. But please let me know if the sound is good on your end, chat. It's the first rounds, we can kind of get warmed up both on the... Ooh, and the stun confirm into the rush from Gerardo. Very solid confirm to have, obviously. But also one of the tightest in the game in terms of confirms. Like, ARMS is not necessarily the biggest game when it comes to hit confirms and combos. But there are some, you know. Okay, louder sound on the game? Okay. Is this better? Please let me know if this is better. Yeah, Prof right now doing definitely a better job with the chillers. But yeah, not going to make the whole rush collide. There's the grab from Gerardo. And the slap is going to be enough to take that first game. Well, yeah, this was definitely an interesting first pick in terms of stages. Not sure it was necessarily the best pick, because I definitely feel like it advantages Ribbon Girl a little bit more. But we shall see where Prof Fight takes us for the counter pick. We shall see. But yeah, once again, it is first to 2, so Profite's gonna have to make something happen fast right now. Although it is first round, you know, worst case scenarios, we have the loser's bracket. So, you know, things are just gonna go, like, just fine. It seems like we are going to go to Ninja College. Try to play on the elevation and all. And apparently there's like a little bit of a snafu in the meantime, but that's fine. We're trying to figure out. We're just trying to figure things out, you know. Again, first round matches. With a new rule set. Gotta figure things out. Yeah, apparently Profi wanted to go to Ninja, but Ninja was banned. So we're trying to figure out what's going on here. And yeah, we're gonna go to Mausoleum instead, which is definitely one very neutral stage, in my opinion. One of the more neutral in the stage set, or just in the game in general. We do have that trampoline, which sometimes happens to appear after a few hits on the central platform, which can shake up a little bit the rhythm. But nonetheless, now Profi is going to switch, therefore, to the brass. Trying to apply that brass tax. And yeah, immediately with the Sparky into the grab. We're already trying to really exploit still the glove arms on Profi's side. And unfortunately, Sparky has the shortest amount in the game in terms of electric stun duration. But you can still get some cheeky combos off of it. And the trampoline is already out. And now that already puts Beppe in a very good position. Because Beppe is definitely going to be able to use the trampoline a little bit more. As Profi right now is struggling to get the charge. But now we are in maximum brass mode. And now we are just perma-charge on Profi's side. Beppe does have, however, the slap, which can just get hard knockdowns onto this max charge brass. And it would seem like we are having some connection issues, unfortunately. Remember, kids, always wire. No matter the reason, always wire. But yeah. Just an unfortunate disconnect, it happens. We shall see how it goes. It is going to be the Teos call, ultimately. But yeah, we shall see. In the meantime, let me just switch to the screen real quick. Just to talk with chat, you know. Catch up a little bit. We're gonna try to get Beppe back into the lobby anyways. Just to try and finish the match. See, that's the thing on us three. You don't need a LAN adapter anymore. Just buy a Switch OLED. Or a Switch OLED dock. And you've got the LAN directly into the Switch. Oh, hi Fart Nugget. How are you doing? Yeah, the Switch OLED just comes with a dock which has a LAN in there. So frankly, if you just find the OLED dock, even by itself, I actually have just the OLED dock at my home, and it just has a LAN plug instead of like the back USB plug. Since everyone was using that to plug in a LAN adapter anyways, Nintendo figured, let's just throw it in there, whatever. So yeah, for online gaming, I would recommend the Switch OLED just for that. Obviously, you can still get wired in with a regular Switch and a Switch Lite. Like, with a proper LAN adapter. But it is a little bit less convenient. Let's not kid ourselves. So going back to what we are seeing on the Discord, it would seem like Bepe is having a little bit of trouble connecting back to the internet. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, internet issues, they happen. Oh, it seems like we are back in, so we should be able to probably start again? We'll see, we'll see. We're just following closely. And yeah, we're just gonna be able to start again. Just need to swap that. There we go. We're good. Just switch sides. But yeah, so we are redoing game 2 and immediately profile with the very same opener as in that first attempt at a game 2. But yeah, right now, Bepe, however, with the arms crushed and having a lot more trouble, maybe a little bit thrown off by the rhythm break from the disconnect. Because that is always something you have to consider, is the psychological impact of what happens in the real world. It is very much a thing in fighting games. Still, Bepe is able to get some good pokes in and even catch the jump from Profi. And very much his landing, making sure that he doesn't even get to go full max brass mode. And now we have Bepe on match point. Just using double chillers as well, in order to make sure that Profi doesn't get to move as much. But Profi right now is using the deflect from max brass very well. Although he is having trouble just making headway and trying to get in on Gerardo. Yeah, really having trouble on both sides, honestly. It feels like Gerardo right now is just playing the zoning game. Doesn't really need to, you know, rush things. And yeah, that's going to be our first hit, finally. And we're going to get an arm break into the rush, of course. And yeah, Bepe really doesn't need to approach. It's really up to Profi to try and get in and get something started. We're finally going to be able to punish a grab, but unfortunately, that Sparky short period of time of stun is just a little bit too short to get the confirm here. And yeah, Bepe is just going to be able to once again catch the landing after an early rush. Profi having some trouble just dealing with those rushes in general, it would seem like. As Bepe is going to get the freeze, that's going to allow Profi to go full maximum mode. Finally, Profi getting a confirm here off of the Sparky. It's still doable, mind you. We're going to get some damage over time as well from the poison. 8 seconds on the clock though. Profi needs a hit and he needs it now. But it would seem like Bepe is just going to focus on defense, allow himself to get hit in the air in order to waste enough time on a hard knockdown and secure the timeout. And Bepe is going to be taking that first match. Just like that. Yeah, very solid stuff from Bepe overall. As we were saying, probably one of our better players in Europe right now. Definitely out there doing international tournaments as well. But obviously we also have some other good players in the background. Rifa is still a huge threat, potentially, and needs to be taken down. Doesn't really do international tournaments as much as Bepe does. Just because of, you know, lag and stuff. Not wanting to really deal with lag. Which is understandable. Yoshi Bowser is still here. Yam is still here. Joseph is also in the wings. And yeah, it would seem like our first winner semifinals... Well, our winner semifinals are being decided And I believe we are going to start with Rifa versus Yam, to my understanding. Which is a classic match. Should be pretty fun to watch. Rifa obviously more of a Misango representative. But we also know that Misango is a little bit of a harder sell in terms of getting results. Still, I feel like the game overall is balanced enough. Like, it's not egregious in terms of its balance. There are definitely some lower tier characters, some more technical characters. We all know that Coil and Twintail are obviously very much very strong characters in the meta. Maybe with the stage list being changed a little bit, can shift a little bit. But I still feel like Coil and Twintail are still very, very strong characters overall. But we'll see. Oh, Joseph has a strong mango, right? I don't know Joseph as much, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know Joseph as much. But yeah, I'm very excited to see this match, which, again, we haven't seen in a while because of just EUAC not being as prevalent as it used to be. But yeah. Wait, I'm just checking that I have everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, we have everyone. We have all the stages. Because it would seem like we are just going to go random. Turns out. We're just gonna play random stages for this match, which is gonna be fun. But yeah, I'm having a good time so far, you know, chat. We're just being chill, and yeah, we're gonna start directly on Via Dolce. Which Via Dolce used to be a counter pick for a good reason, to be fair. Just because of the very narrow pathways. Allowing some characters to just bully. And yeah, Yam is going to be on the... Sorry, wrong Yam. Need to update. But yeah, Yam is going to be using Coral, as we were saying, one of the strongest, if not the strongest character in the game. Especially because of having such good air movement, you know, and also being able to bully with free arms. But Rifa right now is on Red Mask, does have some super armor. Not going to matter too much, ultimately, if Yam can get those charges in, just because with the roaster you will get that fire element that gets hard knockdowns no matter what. And Rifa just being very patient right now. You have to be playing patient against Coil. We're not going to get the full extent of the rush here, and we're going to get knocked out of the air. But yeah, so far it is looking still pretty even. As Rifa gets the blue mask for increased speed. Now, if you don't know Misango, chat, the way Misango works is that he gets those masks by just dashing into the color pillar that his little spirit makes when he blocks. And you will get different effects. For instance, when he's in yellow, just like this, he's gonna charge rush faster and then get full invincibility when he does decide to press the rush button. Which, as you can imagine, is still a pretty strong thing to have. Yeah, Rifa is just going to try and play patient. The grab is going to put him in a hard knockdown, and he's gonna have to respond to this rush. And of course the chip is going to be more than enough to just chip enough health to have less than Yam, and then Rifa is just gonna take the hit anyways. But yeah, good play here by Yam. Just using the rush onto that chip damage, kind of forcing Rifa into a checkmate situation. But yeah, Rifa, however, trying to go for the rush here with the red super armor mask. Does not get it. Now we're trying to push Yam into the corner. Trying to get in a favorable position on Rifa's side. This red mask also is still very menacing. Yam does not have access right now to his firearms in order to get those hard knockdowns. So it's going to be much harder to get rid of the red mask. And I think that's what Rifa is counting on right now. Just unrelenting offense coming out from the Incan man. And yeah, just like that. Just chip away at our health and it's done. Back to 1-1. And yeah, Yam's definitely going to learn their lesson with that roster coming in. As Rifa is going to be equipping the yellow mask, going to find an opportunity to just find when to, you know, launch the rush. However, going to get knocked down before he gets the opportunity to do so. And Yam is even going to catch that right dash from Rifa. Rifa is going to re-equip the red mask. And yeah, we're going to be able to get a full rush thanks to that popper. Those popper arms are always interesting to see as well in terms of rush, because I feel like they combo much better into other arms overall if you just lead with them in terms of the rush. So they're kind of a good pick, honestly. Also, I love what Rifa is doing right now with the Megawatt. Just plowing through everything as much as possible. But so far the popper is the one that's doing all the job, and is going to land Rifa that first game. Very nicely done. And yeah, I need to like remove the Dolce from the rotation. There we go. But yeah, Yam doesn't usually play Coil. That's the big thing. We still saw that obviously he's doing well with the good doctor. But yeah, we're gonna go back to Twintel. And to be fair, Twintel is also a very, very strong character. And we are going to go to Spring Stadium as well. And potentially, we're going to be able to see some shenanigans with those trampolines. But Yam is going to go just double Chilla Twintel. And Rifa definitely has to be careful. Now, the big thing is that Chilla can still, however, get rid of the masks. Which is a good thing. Even when Rifa is in red mask. And yeah, and we are going to definitely see those grabs into trampoline combos. And yeah, Rifa getting hard punish here for trying to grab the red mask. And he's going to dash right into Yam's trap. Yeah, that was a quick round from Yam, who's just going to stick to the double Chilla strats. Now what makes Twintel very strong in terms of character is just she's able to slow time essentially. She's just able with her dash to slow time around her. And essentially get better dodges. But yeah, look at the pressure that Yam is pulling out. He's even able to avoid most of the rush, but immediately gonna get caught into the reverse Ibuki. There's the grab. We're gonna miss the trampoline here with that grab. That is fine. Grabs are a little bit unwieldy to aim, to be fair, when it comes to actually finding the trajectory that is going to land you the combo. It's not too surprising. Yeah, Rifa is getting back into the game, adapting to Yam's new rhythm. The shield is low. The shield is low on health. And yeah, Yam kind of backed into a corner here. And now Rifa is on match point once again. Rifa kind of playing from behind, honestly, in this match for the most part, but doing very well in terms of adaptation as per usual. Now Rifa's set up the yellow mask, finding the opportunity to try and punish. But yeah, Yam trying to go for the counter rush, manages to get it somehow. That was an interesting interaction. I really felt like with the yellow mask would be safe, but I guess trampoline affects stuff. Yeah, Rifa now on red mask, just waiting for the rush to go to get back, but obviously Yam is also very close to their own rush. And yeah, Rifa right now just fishing for yellow, immediately activating the rush, trying to go for the shield break as well, and gets grabbed for his troubles as well into the Ibuki. And that's going to be huge for Yam, getting back some momentum on this one. Rifa's still getting some very good pokes. Once again, that popper doing a lot of job, a lot of work. Still, it is very close right now, very tense. Pretty much both players on one-hit situations, and the cooler ring is going to clip Yam and allow Rifa to get that match in, just like that. But yeah, Rifa just doing the Rifa. Coming in and going for the kill. Also, yeah, I forgot. I have a huge screenshot button on this controller. If I want to. But yeah, Rifa just moving on to winners finals. Which, to be fair, kind of was the expected result. He is Seed 1 after all. And now we're going to have Beppe versus Joseph on stream. So potentially Ribbon versus Misango? I'm guessing? Yeah, if you have 5, you should be able to see the stream now once again. I just wanted to enable enhanced broadcasting on Twitch, because I figured I didn't have that. And now you should have access to quality settings if you need, chat. So if 1080p is too much for you, you can set it to 720p or 360p if need be. Should be a little bit more comfortable for your viewing experience, chat. But yeah, I forgot that was a thing now. That I could just stream multiple resolutions at a time. And no, we are going to see the DNA man himself, Helix, on Joseph's side. So yeah, Helix is a very unwieldy character as well. Probably one of the hardest to play in the roster. Just because of his stretch and squash mechanic. Which allows him to get some dodges that no other characters would, of course. But I also think the play with Helix is to play more stationary, and that also leads to him being a little bit more susceptible to offense. But yeah, Joseph trying to go in on Beppe. Beppe, however, going to get blurred here, getting knocked down. And Joseph is going to find a very, very good rush here as a counter. And the trade is going to be to the advantage of Joseph, who's going to be getting that first point. And now on Joseph we have Roaster and Guardian. Guardian is always a fun one to see, honestly, just because of the movement of the Guardian, just being there. Trying to very much block everything that's going on, and I feel like on Via Dolce it can be pretty efficient, just because of it staying there. That is, if you can manage to position it well. So far though, it's still looking very even. Beppe trying to go for pokes, for the most part, with either the slap to go around the Guardian, or the Tri-Volt whenever the Guardian is not there. And Beppe is going to even be able to catch that jump after the rush activation of Joseph. But yeah. Right now, once again, we are in the situation where Joseph has trouble actually getting in on Beppe. Beppe trying to play more of a zoney game right now. Although he is, they are stuck in the corner. And the grab is going to do it as well in order to tie up this game. Yeah, Helix is good. He's just more technical than other characters. That's why you don't see him as often as someone like Coil or Twintel. And yeah, Joseph back with the offensive strat. But Beppe is just going to be able to avoid that that blorb and get the rush as a punish as well. Gets the slap in. And what I'm noticing as well is that Beppe likes to put himself in the corner in this stage, funnily enough. And I get that the mobility from Ribbon Girl allows him to get some very close calls in. But I still don't think this is the situation you want to be in for any character. Because right now Joseph is kind of free to just use the Blorb for offense, as Blorb is kind of going to go through. It's just going to go through most of what Beppe has to offer. There's an arm break. There's going to be a free rush for Joseph. And Beppe, however, going to find a counter rush here on Joseph's mistimed offense. It's a slap in. Both players in the red. And what I do like about Helix as well against the Tri-Bolt is that obviously he's going to dodge under it very easily. But there's the slap, and Beppe is going to be taking that first game in a very, very tense set. Like, this is looking very tense. Like, Beppe is fighting for his life here. And so is Joseph, obviously. But still. But yeah, that does mean we are going to go on to game 2 with Joseph at a disadvantage. Right now needs to get back into the game, you know. Trying to fight through and pull through. It is, however, Joseph's pick on the stage. And we are going to go to Mausoleum. Try to bring it back to a more open stage. In order to get some good dodges, some good movement going. And Joseph is going to move on to Ninjara. So we were talking about Ninjara earlier being a little bit unwieldy at times just because of the auto teleport on the guard. Now how that's gonna play out we shall see as well. Immediately Joseph once again going for a very offensive beginning. With the Phoenix as well. Phoenix is not an armor you get to see too often. Although it does have some interesting curves, I feel like Thunderbird you get to see more often for the stun. The Phoenix is still very solid nonetheless to get some good anti-airs potentially onto the Ribbon Girl. So I can kind of understand the choice. And of course Hydra is just the reliable anti-air. Just the reliable anti-air arm in the game. But still, so far we are exchanging very well some punches. But Pepe is going to be able to find the stun confirm here. Push Joseph on the other side of the stage as well. And unfortunately that does mean that the full rush is not going to connect. But Joseph is going to be able to find the grab from that one. Pepe is still able to catch him from the air with that tri-bolt. And another tribal to the face is going to do it and put Bippe on match point. And Joseph right now definitely having a little bit more trouble opening this second round. We're going to get a little bit of a hit here with the Hydra. And we're going to be able to clip with the rush, but unfortunately Bippe is going to be able to escape mostly scot-free. And there's the stun confirm. Joseph managing to teleport out of the confirm because Bippe was just a little bit too far, a little bit too late on the rush. And the trampoline is now out. That's going to put Joseph in a very difficult situation here, trying to have to maneuver around this trampoline while Bippe can just kind of go over it if need be. Again, I feel Ribbon Girl can use the trampoline a little bit more easily than some other characters. Joseph, however, finding the grab here. And just immediately the wake-up rush from Bippe as Joseph mistimes his counter rush. And that is going to be game for Gerardo. Moving on to winners finals to face off against Rifa. But yeah, solid stuff overall from Joseph, but unfortunately Bippe was just that little bit stronger today. It's okay, we will see Joseph once again in the losers bracket. I believe in just a bit. I don't know if the matches of the top 6 losers bracket are on right now. Waiting for the call from Rifa. But we shall see nonetheless. Okay, how are you enjoying the show so far? Chat. How are you enjoying it? Has it been good? Yeah, we're seeing some good gameplay. Like, I know it's been a while since we've had a UAC, but we're still seeing that those players still have it, you know? They still got it. They still got the fire in them. And that is just a wonderful thing to see. Also, all things considered, if you have the game and you're liking what you're seeing today, go populate that ranked. Go populate that ranked, join the EU Arms Discord, have some fun with the community. And it would seem like we are going to have at least one loser's quarter on stream, which will be Yoshi Bowser versus Joseph. Now, Yoshi Bowser, I believe, should still be rocking the Bite and Bark. Which, again, we have good character variety as well in Europe, which is nice to see. But yeah, Bite and Bark is an interesting character as well. Just because of the way you can use Bark as a deflect tool by jumping over him, and also because Bark is going to help with just getting the punches in. Yeah, Joseph, I will accept your friend request, but only after the tournament, unfortunately, because otherwise I have to kill the lobby. Because that's just how the game works, unfortunately. That is kind of the whole issue. Like, if I press home, like, it doesn't let me. I can zoom in. Doesn't really do much, but I can zoom in, like, look! And yeah, Yoshi is in the lobby, right there. Just right there. But yeah, I'm glad you're having fun, chat. That's why we do these. That's why we do these, honestly. It's good fun. You think Beyonce? What does Beyonce have to do with anything? I mean, I could sing Beyonce. I don't know the lyrics though. You know, while we wait. But yeah, I guess I could sing a song potentially. Oh, the bot is having a fun time in Discord. Okay, the bot is having a fun time. But yeah, while we wait, chat, just so you know, I am organizing some tournaments this month and next month at Vortex Gallery Online 2024. Most notably next week, I will be, for next Friday, I will be organizing a Breaker's Revenge tournament at 20 CST, sorry. And then in November, on November 8th, we will have Vampire Savior, and November 10th, we will have Street Fighter 6, the big one. And for all these tournaments, there's at least $200 in cash prize guaranteed, shared across all tournaments. So yeah, if you want to join, make sure to go to vortexgallery.moe. You'll get all of the information there. There are a little bit more of an announcement that we need to make until then, but yeah, just so you know, if you want to join Breaker's Revenge next week on next Friday, the registrations will end on Wednesday, so make sure to register right now if you want to do so. But yeah, that was a little bit of an ad moment, you know, gonna have to sometimes. It seems like we would be back on track to get our losers quarter started. Just trying to figure out who has whose friend code, etc. Kind of the limitations of the game and yeah, the game in general. The limitations of the game, but you know. We make do. We're at least glad we have this whole arena mode here. Because that arena mode honestly works very well. I'm missing one. Via Dolce. There we go. Wait, we seem like we're going to get another match with a random stage pick. Which should be interesting. Because obviously having random stage picks kind of tests each player's adaptability. And we are going to go for a Bite and Bark Ditto. Which is definitely going to be very interesting. Different sets though. We're having different sets of arms on both sides. But yeah, I do wonder how Joseph is doing in terms of the Ditto, because I feel like Yoshi overall has more experience with Bite and Bark. You know, Yoshi's essentially been playing Bite and Bark since day one at this point, and day one was in 2017. Gosh, chat, can you imagine that this game is like 8 years old? It is crazy. Yeah, Joseph is honestly doing very well right now. Not getting impressed by Yoshi Bowser right now. Not letting himself be impressed. And honestly, Dragon is also a pretty decent arm. More of a slow arm overall. But it's still a very good zoning arm to have. Just for sweeping coverage. And combined with the Roaster for more of a speedy punish. It's pretty good. Also has a very good rush, honestly. Dragon arms have very good rushes as well. Yeah, Joseph is definitely not letting himself get impressed by Yoshi's Bowser's experience. And it's very nice to see. Okay, going into rush, Joseph able to, you know, block it very easily, but gets caught by the Seiki explosion just at the last second. But right now, Joseph has a good lead. Overall, though, I feel like both players are doing very well, just making sure that Bark doesn't really get to play too much. Ooh, that should be a shield break, potentially. Nope, not quite. But yeah, Yoshi's in a very difficult situation. Kind of stuck in the corner. Yeah, tries to go for the rush in order to deflect the grab. Still able to get the explosion as an anti-air. And there's the Seiki into the grab. And Yoshi's getting back into the game. But the grab is going to do it, however, from Joseph. Just like that. Solid play overall from both players. Joseph still has a very good lead. Still had a very good lead for most of that match. But Yoshi Bowser was starting to really adapt and form a gameplay of his own. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go in the second game potentially, where Yoshi Bowser will be like warmed up and everything. We are going to go to Via Dolce as well, which is definitely going to be a stage where Bark does not get too much room to shine, because I feel like on Via Dolce it's going to be much easier to just snipe Bark out of doing stuff. Because it's so narrow. Such a narrow stage. And already Yoshi having to fold under the pressure in the corner. And Joseph is potentially going to take full advantage of that as well. With laser after laser. And right now the goal for Yoshi is going to be trying to get out of this corner. Although we are getting some very good pokes onto Joseph right now. So Bark is doing some of the very much heavy lifting when it comes to actually tanking those Seekis as well for Joseph. Which means the explosion is not going to doesn't get as much mileage as I feel Yoshi would want from that Seiki. And just like that, Joseph has pushed him once again into the corner, and another grab, gonna do it. Joseph on match point right now. Yeah, that's the big thing, like Yoshi Bowser in this round was stuck in the corner for the entire round. We need to find a way out, like come on, where's the door? Where's the door to the outside? I mean, Joseph has the key right now. Joseph has the key to the door. That's the big thing. It really feels like Yoshi does not have an answer right now in order to get out of the corner. We are going to get some breathing room though from getting a full 450 damage rush. Seiki having one of the most damaging rushes in the game. But yeah, Joseph is just going to continue his plan of relentless offense. Get the rush here. Not going to be able to get any kind of damage on there, but it was necessary for defense. It was necessary for defense. Still, Yoshi is going to have a little bit of a meter advantage here. Yoshi definitely doing much better in terms of the pokes as well, with Joseph being on one hit. And yeah, and the grab here is going to get deflected, and we're even going to be able to snipe Joseph out of the air. Joseph trying desperately to stall here, and Yoshi Bowser is going to be able to save that round. One more round to save though, in order to stay in the bracket. And more slaps from Yoshi. We have ditched the Seiki for a Megawatt. Trying to get that Megawatt to, plow through everything that Joseph has to offer. That is the plan, but unfortunately we're going to get clipped by the rush here. And the grab here as well from Joseph. Yoshi Bowser in a lot of trouble, once again stuck in the corner, in the dark alleyways of Via Dolce. And the big thing as well is that Joseph is going to be more free to just get the dodges against that very slow Megawatt. And Joseph, just like that, is going to take it 2-0. Move on to loser semis over Yoshi Bowser, who's going to have to leave us right here and there, unfortunately. And yeah, it would seem like we are going to go straight into losers semis then? It would seem. With a little bit of a match between Yam and Joseph, potentially. Yeah, it would seem like we're just going to go into loser semi. Just like that. But yeah, I like that Joseph is actually experimenting with the different characters as well. We're getting to see a lot of the roster overall. Very fun to watch. Yeah, let's get this loser semis going then. It's gonna be Yam versus Joseph. I expect Yam to be sticking with the Twin Tail, all things considered. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We've seen a lot of different things happen during this tournament in terms of character picks. Everyone having fun, honestly, and it's good to see. Yeah, we are going to go random stages for this match as well. Neat! To be fair, it allows us to see as well the entire stage list potentially, which is a good thing. And yeah, we are going to go to Ninja College, and Yama is going to go for the Lolo Pop for this one, with Joseph going for the Misango. Yeah, Lolo Pop is an extremely defensive character, able to actually move in shield. Is a pretty potent ability. And while Lolo Pop does have some mobility options with the bouncing out of shield, I do feel like this is one of the characters that struggles a little bit more in terms of the movement actually in the game. And yeah, so far still, Joseph has the health advantage. Going to go for a rush. He's going to be able to catch Yam sleeping on that one. And Joseph immediately going for the yellow mask in order to get a quick rush. Real quick if possible. But Yam is going to be able to find that rush on that mishandled jump from Joseph. And both players all of a sudden are in the red. Joseph slowly getting wheeled down by the poison of the Scorpion. Although Joseph also has a Gusher, which will probably poison himself, but the problem with Gusher is that it is a very predictable trajectory on this arm. So it can be kind of easy to dodge for the most part. However, we still have the Roaster as a good old reliable. And Joseph is going to try and play the clock and just going to be able to punish Yam here on this movement. Going back to game 2, Joseph back in the yellow, has the ability to go into rush at any moment. It's always threatening to see Misango in the yellow with that yellow triangle just glowing right next to him. And yeah, just like that, Yam is going to use the rush defensively to prompt Joseph to use his own rush and waste it essentially. That was the play here. He knew that he wouldn't be able to go through his rush, so he just waited and used the rush to bait Joseph's own rush. And once again zoning as much as possible. Got that Tri-Blast as well. Tri-Blast being a very strong poking tool. Because of that, it's quick, it's explosive, can catch people in the explosion. just a very, very strong tool to have. And Joseph, however, going for a rush, almost clipping Yam on that one. But Yam is going to be able to escape by the skin of his teeth on this one. And just like that, Yam is going to be able to take that second round as well. And now we're gonna go straight into round 3 with Yam managing to find a rush here onto Joseph, getting started with a decent lead. Joseph, however, able to find the roaster hit here, but still has to deal with the Tri-Blast pressure. And yeah, Yam is being unrelenting. However, he's not going to be able to escape that grab quite as well as he got hoped to. And yeah, Joseph is going to get hard punish for that rush here, as Yam is just going to be able to jump over it and get the grab. Yam in a very strong position right now. Although Joseph is eager to get the high ground back on this stage. Setting up the yellow mask. We do not have rush yet though. And Yam is just going to be able to get the 1-2 here. And that's going to be first game going to Yam. Just like that. It would seem like Yam is going to switch straight to Ribbon Girl. Also, mods, we do have a... how to put it? We do have a bot in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, Joseph going for the Mechanica. Now we're talking to my own heart here. Honestly, Mechanica being my main and all. My favorite character in this game. She's very much a low tier in this game, to be fair, like just like Master Mommy. But we love the girl. We love the girl all the same. Now obviously the gimmick with the heavies in this game is just that they have a perma super armor, but obviously super armor in this game you can break by getting hard knockdowns from the fire. And that's exactly what Yam is going to do here with the popper and the toaster. Just go in with all the fire in the world. And we're even going to be able to snipe those Seekies from midair and get them to work against Joseph. Joseph unable to find the rush here, as Yam is going to get the punish. And now Joseph is in a very rough situation. And just the toaster coming in. Thank you! Toaster's just coming in to take the kill on Joseph. And Yam is now on match point. And the trampoline is out. And once again, this is a situation where Yam is going to be very much advantaged from just laying Ribbon Girl. And having that trampoline out is going to be much better for Ribbon Girl's movement than it will be for Mechanica's movement. It doesn't really get to use the trampoline too much. However, Joseph is going to go from the air, get that grab as well. And just get those win confirms as well. Another type of confirm that you get in ARMS is the win confirm. But Yam right now, just pushing back, playing more patiently, and unfortunately gonna get clipped from his rush here. As he did not have the time to retract his arms. This is not 1.0 anymore, Yam. We've not been playing on 1.0 since 7 years. But Yam doesn't care. Going to go continuously for the offense. Joseph going for the rush, gonna get the shield break. It's not gonna be quite enough to kill just yet. But Yam is going to be able to get the toaster and finish things off and move on to losers finals and secure at least a third place on the leaderboard of this EUAC. Very well played nonetheless by Joseph. Just playing different characters, you know, showing us the full breadth of the roster. But unfortunately, their run is just going to end there. That does mean with that we are going to be able to move on to our first 2-3 matches, beginning with winners finals between Rifa and Gerardo. Once again, a very much classic matchup. With potentially Ribbon Girl versus Miss Sango, I would wager. I would wager that. Once again, chat, we do not have predictions on this channel, but if you want, you can still say, who do you think wins this matchup? Would it be Rifa or would it be Gerardo? Again, I feel like Gerardo lately has had more training, but Rifa is just the king of Europe. So that's always something you have to consider. And we are going to go random for this one as well. Okay, once again, this is going to be our first to three match of the day. A lot more time to adapt. But again, how much can you adapt when your adversary is Rifa? That is what needs to be, you know, found out tonight. I say tonight because it's almost already night. Autumn, winter. Kind of a problem. Yeah, Rifa's gonna pull out the Ninjara for this matchup. Which, to be fair, I feel like Ninjara overall will do better in terms of movement against Ribbon Girl. But we'll see, we'll see. And yeah, Rifa using Triblast himself for those pokes. And using a nice dragon to try and shut down the Ribbon Girl's movement, I feel like. That's going to be the big thing. That big sweeping laser is always something that Gerardo is going to have to think about. And also if he gets hit by the laser, if it's charged, he's going to get frozen. And therefore Ribbon Girl will lose her best advantage. Honestly, in this matchup and in any matchup, which will be the movement. Bip is just going to rush right out of the freeze. Rifa able to dodge most of the rush. Again, Ninjara can't block. So any rush could potentially be deadly. But we are going to get the rush and then the grab. And the first round is going to go to Rifa just like that. And immediately, the game is like, I'm gonna have to catch up with those two. They are way too fast. But yeah, Beppe is doing a much better job right now. Just getting to keep Rifa on his toes. And you can definitely see that both have a very similar strategy. I like that the two tri-arms are actually on the on opposite arms because they kind of neuter each other. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to neuter those arms just because their hitbox is so small. So you kind of have to hit into them, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, Riffa now one hit away from dying. And I feel like the moment Bippy gets rushed, it's going to be a bad time potentially for Riffa. And Riffa is going to just hold on to that rush for as long as he needs. And yeah, the trade is definitely going to be in favor of Bippy on that one. Gerardo equalizing the score just like that. And yeah, Pepe, again, doing a lot of good with the pokes. I feel like the Tri-Bolt is doing a lot for him right now. Obviously, we do have the slap Commentator in order to prevent Ripper from moving around too much. But so far, most of the damage that Pepe has been able to inflict was with that dreaded Tri-Bolt. With, however, going in and catches the advancing guard as well from Pepe on this one. Riffa's going to be able to just get the slap into the win confirm. Yes! Full win confirmed from Riffa. And that's going to be the first game going to the side of the Ninja. With a very sneaky slap in the face. But yeah, obviously Riffa hasn't lost the touch in all those months. It's good to see. We are going to go to Ribbon Ring. I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a better stage overall for Gerardo, who's going to be able to express his Ribbon Girl more. But once again, it is a matter of can you deal with the pressure from Riffa. Riffa back with the Dragon on, by the way. Back with the Ice Dragon. Yeah, so far, Bippy just pushing Riffa as much as possible, trying to keep him at a distance. As the trade right now, still in favor of Bippy. Bippy not able, however, to take the high ground on this one. And I feel like Riffa is going to try and get rid of as much high ground as he can. And yeah, Riffa right now is struggling to keep up with Bippy's pressure. Just overall, he cannot afford to take any more of those trades here. And Bippy has rush as well, if he needs to. Riffa even going to just manage to get still a good snipe with that Ice Dragon's rush. But Bippy is able to find a full stun confirm and even keep the rush in the process. And that puts Bippy in a very good position for round 2. Just because he has those resources at his disposal. But yeah, I really don't think the Ice Dragon is doing as much work as Riffa would have liked in this matchup. And there's the stun confirm here from Bippy. We got a corner situation. Bippy is going to use that time to actually get back onto the top of the platforms. Not going to stay there for long though. And Riffa is going to take the high ground here. Ooh, good catch however from Riffa. With the dragon sniping Gerardo out of the grab. Another 1-2 from Bippy though. Bippy in the red. Now has to deal on his own terms with Riffa's own pokes. And the Ice Dragon is still a very big threat that he needs to walk around. And yeah, Riffa's just going to slowly walk away from Bippy and get the snipe in order to get the second round. Now going into round 3. Got some try blasts from Riffa. Riffa trying to be very aggressive and not let the ribbon go breathe, but immediately Bippy is going to get some space from actually getting the grab. Rifa is not relenting. You can definitely see Rifa just going in and in and in and in and in order to try and keep that ribbon girl into a corner. And then Beppe always trying to dash out. We are going to find the rush here on Beppe's side. Rifa in the red. And I have to try and make something happen right here. And the grab is going to catch Rifa on a try blast. Rifa trying to go for the rush himself, managing to catch Beppe, but just for 155 health. That is not that much in this game. And of course, the Tri-Bolt is going to catch on the landing. Beppe is going to equalize to the score. We have a match, ladies and gentlemen. We have a match. Well, this is looking very close between the two players. This is looking like a very close match that could go all the way to the end. Now we're gonna go to DNA Lab. DNA Lab being an interesting stage because of those huge pillars that can be brought down. Now they do withstand a few hits, nonetheless. So if anyone, like Beppe, wants to play very defensively, they just have to hide behind the pillars. And that is one thing that is really just offered from having the slaps. It's just high curvature in order to be able to attack from behind the pillars. And yeah, Rifa trying to play very patient, going for the ice loops from the dragon. But he is getting pushed back here into the corner, and Beppe is going to be able to catch him with a rush as well. Another slap here. Does not get the timing for the Oki grab, but it's okay. And Rifa is going to get first freeze, no second freeze here. Beppe trying to respect what is going on here with the dragon. And Rifa is going to use the rush to try and deflect the trouble coming in his way. But unfortunately the slap is just going to catch him after a good dodge from Gerardo. And yeah, it's definitely Gerardo showing the fruits of his labor right now. It feels like. Like, Rifa is still making some good headway overall on Gerardo. But I don't remember seeing Rifa struggle as much during the previous EUA season. So we're definitely seeing an improvement from Beppe in like a year, which makes sense. But I say that as Rifa gets a dominating round on this one. Oh my god. Yeah, it feels like Rifa is much more comfortable playing with a more open stage, now that most of the pillars are gone. It feels like Rifa is just more comfortable playing in this situation, and yeah, Rifa kind of getting caught here because, once again, of the teleport. We've talked about Ninjara's teleport many a times at this point, and yeah, there was no way he could, like, dodge this rush from this close. And now Beppe is having his way just full pelt. And Beppe is going to be able to take his second game off of Rifa and put himself one game away from going into grand finals. And yeah, it would seem like there are some complaints, unfortunately, on Beppe's connection. We're having still some troubles on the connection. which is unfortunate. But we shall see how it goes. Wait, how's it going, chat? So far. How are you doing still, chat? Oh, we solved this this little situation. Yeah, I think Bepe is good to like how to put it? Reboot the router. Because yeah, the connection looks like it's really bad right now. Yeah, we shall see how it all unfolds. It is unfortunate to ultimately have those tournaments marred by connection issues, but it is how it is, you know, chat. It is how it is. And yeah, Mbip is back in the lobby. Yeah, it would seem like we're just going to redo the previous match. So it's back to 1-1. But they're asking for a redo. So yeah, that does mean we are back to a 1-1 situation. on this one. We're just redoing the match. You know, Rifa trying to play a little bit more conservative right now. He's trying to play a little bit more from afar. Feels like, and Beppe is the one more on the offensive. But I feel like the offensive is not working too well right now for Beppe. Still, Beppe is able to get some good slam hits. For the most part. Some good slaps. And once again, trying to just play by hiding behind the pillars. Rifa is going to be able to get a full rush here. Misses Dioki with the grab. And now he's just able to play very defensively against Beppe. And yeah, the trade here is going to ensure that Rifa takes that first round. Going to round 2, Rifa is definitely playing still very defensively. Just hiding behind the pillars. There are still a lot of pillars up for the most part. So you can afford to do so. And Rifa unable to get the rush here, gonna get punished here by Gerardo, who's not gonna be able to get his full rush himself. There's the grab though, very good grab here from Gerardo. Rifa is still trying to push Gerardo into a corner. Being the operative word right now. And he's gonna just back out for a little bit. Once again, misses the Oki grab. Gerardo does have to respect it though. Does have to respect the option. Right now, Rifa is just going to try and delay the rush. Not gonna land nonetheless, but he's not gonna get punished for it. Now Beppe is the one with the rush and could use it at any moment. There it is, but he gets to eat a Tri-Blast in the face, and Rifa is gonna be able to take that game, and the score is now 2-1 to Rifa, just like that. Okay, we are going to go into game 4 with Rifa switching to Misango for the next one. Now I have to re-enable the stages. I believe that's the list. I believe that's the list. Yeah, that should be the list. We are going to go straight to Temple Grounds, though. Yeah, and Beppe is gonna go for the Chilla here to complement the slap. I still feel like the Tri-Bolt was doing a lot of work in terms of, you know, getting some good chip damage in. But I can understand the switch as well in order to, you know, stop Rifa from getting his masks. Rifa right now doesn't care. Good trade here in favor of Rifa. Rifa does have yellow. Just going to eat up the yellow mask in order to get that rush invincibility. But it looks like he doesn't even need it in order to take that round. We're going to go straight to round 2 with Rifa on match point. Yeah, and Gerardo having to block here, knowing that he cannot contest the yellow mask rush. Manages to stop it in time in order to not get hit and just freeze in place, you know. Rifa now in the red mask. Able to kind of abuse armor for the most part, as Gerardo is struggling to find any kind of meaningful hit. We do see the tribal, however, coming in once again for those pokes. Finally we get, however, Rifa out of this red mask, but just in time for him to get back into yellow. There's a grab though, and Rifa is back into yellow. Gerardo here in a rough position. He's gonna have to avoid that rush. There's the blocking. There's the slap out of the air. The trade is going to be favoring Gerardo, who's now in the lead in terms of health. As Gerardo is trying to fish for a grab right now. Gets the slap instead though. Now Rifa is the one down in terms of health. 10 seconds on the clock though. And we are going to get the stun from the Megawatt, but the rush is there, and yeah, it's gonna be time and in favor of Gerardo. I'm kind of surprised that Rifa was not able to confirm after that electric stun, because like Megawatt stun does take a little bit. That does seem to have given the confidence that Gerardo needed. Rifa is trying to apply a lot of pressure on that shield. Gerardo feeling forced to drop the shield, getting eaten alive by the rush here. And there's another grab. Gerardo being pushed back to the back of the stage. There's the freeze. He has to respect the second cool rank coming in. And yeah, the poke with the popper is going to be more than enough to secure the win for Rifa. Rifa, who's going to move on to grand finals, as Beppe is now going to have to face Yam in losers finals. Yeah, good stuff from both players. And it does mean we're going to go straight into losers finals with Gerardo versus Yam in just a bit. And yeah, they're right now just deciding on the stage and everything. Making sure. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got everything. They're going to go random. Okay, that's good to know. And yeah, let's get it ready to roll for this losers final. So Gerardo with the Ribbon Girl versus Yam, who has shown us a great breadth of characters so far. We've got the Lobel up, we've got the Twin Tail, we've got the Dr. Coral in the background, even though we're not necessarily going to see, I think, the Dr. Coral in this matchup. But we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, first match is going to go to Buster Beach. I don't think we've seen Buster Beach today, in fact. And Yam is going to go for the Min Min for his first game. Min Min with the Parasol to boot. Parasol being a good coverage arm. Has the wind element as well for those confirms. But Beppe is just gonna go double nade, in fact. Yeah, just go to the double nade. Nade being a very potent arm with just explosions on contact. And yeah, trying to go for the advancing guard here. That's not going to catch Yam. But we are going to get him in, as an anti-air though. Interesting. More wind coming in from Yam. Yam trying to play distance game. Trying to keep Gerardo away as much as possible. Which is understandable because Nate being such a fast arm, honestly, makes it hard to deal with. And you always have to consider as well that it has that after hitbox, that lingering hitbox from the explosion afterwards. But yeah, that's gonna be first round going to Yam. Sorry. And yeah, Yam immediately finding the rush onto Gerardo. That's gonna push him away though, thanks to that wind element. We're not gonna get the full rush out of it. And yeah, Beppe right now struggling to find any kind of opening with those rushes. It really feels like the momentum from Beppe has completely shifted since the router restart. As Yam is continuing to push. And so far it is working for Yam, honestly. This whole strat with the parasol, working pretty well. As Beppe is on one hit right now. Has to be very careful in order to enter. Yam is just going to use the rush and try to hope, I think, for a trade here on that one. But Beppe is still going to be able to find the rush, get some breathing room. And all of a sudden it's looking a little bit more doable for Beppe. Still only 25 seconds on the clock though. There's the grab. That's how it starts. Yam in the red. And the trade, and Yam is still going to be able to get up from that one. And avoid a double KO as well. Yeah, Yam is going to be able to take that that first game very handily. Beppe is trying to find the answers so far. I do feel like maybe in the second match we will see them come out in full force. But yeah, it was looking a little bit rough for Beppe. It feels like Yam is just going to stick with the Min-Min. And to be fair, the Min-Min was working very well. Now, on Ninja College, I feel like there's something that that could be done, honestly, for both players. Just having those height differentials for both players could be very interesting, although I do feel like Ribbon Girl can use them a little bit more, for the most part. From her own mobility and from the fastfall. But Yam right now is doing an excellent job just at keeping the high ground for himself. More roasters. Yam's gonna push back here with the parasol once again. Trying to just get the pokes with that giant roaster from the Dragon Arm of Min-Mins. The Beppe is gonna get him to be knocked out of his Dragon Arm state. Now here's the thing about Ninja College as well. That Min-Min is going to have a lot of space to actually grab that Dragon Arm. On top of just getting it from the grabs, you know. And just look at that. 2 backdashes. And Yam has all the time in the world to actually get the Dragon Arm back. There's the grab though from Gerardo, putting Yam on to 1 HP. As Yam is going to get that Dragon Arm back. Get that huge roaster to go into Gerardo's face. But now has to approach. But 4 seconds on the clock. I think this is an done deal. And Gerardo is going to be able to take that round. Because yeah, that's the big thing. You do get the space to charge the Dragon on, but then you have to get back in order to finish the job. It's rough out here, you know. It's rough. Yeah, Yam, however, getting some momentum back in this second round. Gonna get slapped right out of Dragon Arm. Now Yam is in the corner, getting grabbed by Beppe. Gonna have to be careful about that rush. Good dodges, but tries to punish and unfortunately misses the punish. A little bit of an ambitious punish here. Yeah, Beppe doing a very good job right now. Just keeping Yam on their toes. And also keeping relatively close to Yam as well. In order to prevent him from getting that dreaded Dragon Arm. But there's the rush here. That should be able to push Yam into the red. Yam taking the time once again to get the Dragon Arm with 14 seconds on the clock. What can Yam do in this situation? It is looking like it's going to go to another timeout, but we are going to find the rush on Yam's side. 3 seconds on the clock though. I think this is going to be an over case once again. And Beppe going to take that one over with two timeouts. Just like that. Yeah, good stuff from Gerardo. Definitely using the spacing from Ninja College to his advantage for the most part. Yeah, Yam definitely had struggles in order to try and get in on Gerardo. He did get a couple of times the Dragon Arm, but he couldn't capitalize on it. That's the big thing. Now, as we are going to go to Game 3 onto Mausoleum, Yam is going to have to make some adjustments. But I do feel like he could be better off from having a little bit of a smaller, more neutral stage for the most part, like Mausoleum. In fact, we are going to see the Phoenix come out in full force from Yam. Essentially trying to cut off Gerardo's movement with that Phoenix. Gerardo is going to get first blood though. Yeah, Yam is struggling to get past that wall of a slap and a tri-bolt. Can definitely see them struggling right now. Even the rush is not gonna go through for Yam. This is looking rough. Finally we get a Dragon Arm though on that Phoenix. But Vivi is still doing an excellent job at just dodging everything. Even micro walks away from the Phoenix on that one. Yeah, Yam once again needs to find an opening. Getting clipped once, twice by the tri-bolt. And finally we get a roaster hit. We can start applying pressure, except Gerardo is not going to allow it by just like activating Rush in order to push Yam back. 10 seconds on the clock once again. We're back in those situations. You do not get a confirm from that Yam, unfortunately. And that's going to be a wasted rush in order to lead to yet another timeout in favor of Gerardo. Gerardo just playing very patiently. What can I say? And once again, I feel like the tribal from Gerardo is doing most of the heavy lifting. With again being a very quick arm and all. That's just doing very strong pokes. And there's the stun confirmed from Gerardo. And Yam is already in the red. It is not looking good for the Min Min player who's going to get stunned into a grab. And Gerardo, just like that, is going to take the a second game off of Yam. Just like that. And now we're going to go into game 4, and it is looking dire for Yam in this situation. It is looking absolutely dire. We've got to find something in order to deal with that menace. Yeah, we shall see how it goes, but Yam really seems to be struggling right now. Just really seems to be struggling. We had a good start during the set, but now we're really struggling. And Yam is going to pull out the Ribbon Girl for what could potentially be the last game in this tournament for Yam. But so far Beppe is still doing a very, very good job just keeping Yam in the corner. Okay, so far it's looking pretty even. Beppe, however, is going to force Yam into the corner and catch a jump with the rush as well. Going to back out right immediately after knowing that Yam has a rush of their own. But immediately Yam is going to be the one to take the corner, but immediately just throw Beppe out of the corner. And now the rush is going to get blocked very easily as well by Beppe. Good slaps here from Beppe. There's a good grab here once again from Beppe, and now we've got the Oki no Oki here from Beppe, but we have again the Tribolt still doing a lot of work. And now Beppe is on match point, one game away from qualifying to grand finals from the loser side. And yeah, a trade to begin with. Yeah, once again struggling to get the opening on Beppe. Still managing to get some good pokes overall with the popper. But yeah, there's the air rush in order to put down a lot of pressure onto Beppe. Beppe, however, retaliating with the grab. But Yam once again in the corner. As Yam is trying to escape, however, is going to get clipped by the rush. And Yam is still in a dire situation, gonna get clipped here once again by the Tribolt. Tribolt being such a good tool. Once again, Tribolt into slap. Beppe trying to go for a grab. Yam on his last legs in this tournament potentially. Beppe following very quickly though into the red. But yeah, Yam is like one hit away from losing it all. Yeah, however, trying to go for the rush encounter, Beppe is just going to block that. And the tribal, once again, taking it for Beppe, who's going to be moving on to grand finals on that action. But yeah, nicely done by Beppe here. Getting to go for a run back against Riffa. But yeah, that does mean that Beppe is going to have to face Riffa once again. And we've seen in the previous match that their games can go down to the wire, to be fair. But at this point, it kind of is a matter of whether Beppe's connection can actually hold. And that is the big problem that we are having right now in this tournament. So we shall see as well what the TOing decision is. But yeah, it is unfortunate that it kind of goes down to this. But again, internet and all, not much that can be done. We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, chat, are you hyped for the grand finals? How are we doing in chat? Got 11 viewers in chat. That's cool, honestly. That's cool that we have 11 viewers for some arms action. On a channel that streams once every blue moon, like let's be honest. But yeah, we shall see. Let's cross fingers that we do get our grand finals, honestly. Because looking at the current situation, I feel like Beppe's connection is just not good, even after the router reboot. Yeah, we might need to DQ Beppe. Which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Unfortunate. Yeah, that does mean our grand finals will be between Riffa and Yam. once the bracket is updated on my end, which doesn't seem to be. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, we should be good to go now. Yeah, while we wait for the match to be starting up, I would like to remind you all that I will be on the Vortex Gallery staff, Vortex Gallery Online 2024, happening in October and November 2024. Just as a reminder, we will be having a Breakers Revenge tournament with Wolf TV on Friday. So yeah, on Friday, Breakers Revenge at 20 CEST. You can register up until Wednesday for this one. And then on November 8th, we will be having Vampire Savior. And then November 10th, we'll be having Street Fighter 6, all tournaments open, of course, for Europe. But yeah, if you want to register for that, make sure to check Vortex Gallery at vortexgallery.moe. And yeah, it should be fun. It should be fun. But yeah, we are going to go into our grand finals between Rifa and the Yam. Rifa's still looking very strong overall. And I feel like he does have the advantage for the most part going into this match. But Yam is no slouch, so I wouldn't count him out yet. We shall see. Now the question is, will we be having the Ninjara on Rifa, or will we be sticking to the Mango? Because Yam at this point is kind of unpredictable with the character picks. We'll admit, as seen here with the Kid Cobra, and Rifa's gonna pull out the Mechanica. Okay, interesting. I was not expecting those character picks at all, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, Yam obviously using the clapback with Kid Cobra. The big thing about why people do not like fighting against clapback Cobra is because Cobra has some very good arm girth. Meaning that his arm extensions are going to be very, very big and have a huge hitbox. So combined with clapback, which is just a shield arm that just stays there and prevents you from attacking for the most part, it is very potent. Nonetheless, Rifa is doing an excellent job at keeping Yam at bay for the most part. And I feel like the use of two ice arms is actually very relevant against Cobra, because Cobra has such good grounded movement that having the ice arms to actually shut down that movement feels like a very good position to be in. And just like that, Rifa is going to be taking the first round. Yam immediately getting the grab as an opener to that second round. And being very obnoxious with that clapback. It's always something you have to be aware of. You know, that giant clapback. You can't go into it, otherwise your arms are going to get deflected. Yam, however, using the rush in order to get out of the freeze state and deflect Riffa's offense and attempt at a freeze loop. There's Riffa's new attempt at a freeze loop. No, we're going to go for the grab instead. And Yam with an arm down, that's going to be a free rush for Riffa. Unfortunately, not without a drop in the process. Rush physics being a little bit weird here. That's going to put Riffa back in the health lead. Yam is going to, however, be able to push Riffa into the red. As Yam is going to be playing very patiently right now. One hit away from dying. And he knows it. We're pushing back once again. With the popper. And Riffa using the rush to counter the clapback. And because, of course, Yam didn't have enough time to retract that clapback from activating the rush, that is going to allow Riffa to get the punish and get the first game in here. Good stuff from Riffa. Very good stuff from Riffa. Also, as a reminder, Riffa is coming in from the winner's side, so only needs to win one first of three in order to win the tournament. Well, Yam has to win twice. And we're going to be brought to Buster Beach by Yam, as Riffa is going to be switching to Min Min. We're getting the full roster today from Riffa. And Yam is gonna go for the max brass. They're getting full roster from both, honestly, which is cool to see. Nonetheless, brass with nades is still a very obnoxious combo to deal with. I do like the chakram though. I do really like the chakram in order to actually shut off the movement from Riffa. As Riffa is going to, however, use the Scully on the Dragon Arm. Now, Scully is a poison arm, so you can get some very good damage over time. Some quick and good damage over time onto your opponent with that. So I can kind of understand, honestly, why it's on that Dragon Arm. Like, look at that. The Scully is doing a lot of work just poking around at Yam. And stacking up that damage. As Riffa is going to be able to avoid that Chakram Rush very sleekly. Sleekly is not a word. Yeah, and Riffa is just waiting in shield for an opportunity to get something going. As Yam is trying to like find the buff charge. There it is. The dynamic between these two characters is very interesting overall. Just because they both have an element of charge to them. So Riffa is going to be able to find the rush here with the Scully. And get some damage over time as well onto Yam. Yam, who's in the red, who is now in maximum brass mode, has full armor and everything. It will not matter a single second! Yeah, once again, Riffa doing an excellent job just keeping Yam at bay. And that Scully being so fast is doing a lot of work for him. As Yam is trying to go for the rush in order to deflect that Megaton. Now, I do feel like the Scully does counter a little bit the buffness, the buff state of brass. Just because, yeah, you can't get a hard knockdown with this setup, mind you. But having that damage over time does mean you can kind of bypass armor from just having the damage over time, you know. Because the damage over time is going to be the same regardless of if you have super armor or not. And just like that, Yam is in the red, one hit away from dying. And yeah, that rush is going to get clipped by the Scully. Just like that. Rifa one game away from getting the win for this EUAC. Yam's brass didn't have the brass tacks. Unfortunately. And now we're gonna find something in order to throw Rifa off his game. We gotta find something. As Rifa is going to switch to Lola Pop. Like this just in, Rifa's gonna be clowning on Yam. And now it's time to go to Ninja College, where Yam is going to be using the Helix for potentially this last game of the tournament. This could prove rough, though. Now, Rifa's really out there clowning around at this point. We've got the Whammer on deck. Whammer being potentially one of the weakest arms in the game, in my opinion. But it's also got an interesting trajectory, so it's kind of a matchup knowledge check. Still, Rifa does have that Sparky to go by, if need be. It's going to be quick and do a lot of damage, potentially. Yam, however, doing pretty well with the Helix. Trying to go for the OQ grab, missing, but that is fine. And yeah, and the rush from below, but the Whammer is coming in. And from above is going to clip Yam on his own rush. Good stuff from Rifa, who's now one hit away from taking this round. There's the hit. And just like that, Rifa is just 1 point away from victory in this tournament. As Yam is towering high over Rifa. And doing a good job just avoiding most of what Rifa has to offer. Whammer do be a little bit unwieldy at times. But I do feel like it's a good Helix counter just because of the upwards trajectory. And the way that it goes from up to down. And Yam unfortunately going to miss the rush once again. Get punished by the Whammer once again. Still doing overall very well though with the dodges of the Chakram. But the hammer is just always there in order to catch Yam. And of course the hammer is also going to take the last hit in this tournament. And Rifa is going to be taking this one with a full 3-0 victory over Yam. So yeah, Rifa is still on top. Even after a year of no EUAC, Rifa is still on top of Europe and on top of the throne. Very nicely done by him. Of course, nicely done by Yam as well in this grand finals. But yeah, that is going to be it for the EU Arms Challenge number 110. And that does mean that we will be having Rifa in first, Yam in second, Beppe in third, and Joseph in fourth. Congratulations to everyone who took part in the tournament. Thank you for